Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Now, these tropical waves are being picked up by National Hurricane Center, and I have some updates for you, as well as the winner for that generator. So whoever gets that, congratulations to you. I hope you really do need it. I am going to make that every single month if I can. I'm still trying to talk to the company and see what the future is with that. We will go through the winner as well, so please support the video. Hit the like button if you are liking these tropical updates. Now let's get to the forecast and show exactly what it is you have coming. For those that don't know, I do have a generator with 2 solar panels. It's valued almost $1,500. It will be given away in the raffle for today for who did respond to the video the other day. And I'll tell you what, thank you so much. I never had so many comments in all my videos on this channel. I had over 1,800 comments on that video. So I know y'all really want generators. I'm really going to try and get this to go every month. And as these waves get closer, I will do updates every afternoon just so we can stay updated on the tropics. But it is still a good bit of ways. If you remember my last video, that wave is going to reach the western MDR, the eastern Caribbean, and somewhere in between the 12th and the 15th. So we still have a long way to go. Now in the Pacific, we do have a low disturbance 1 that is expected to form later on, a little bit southern of Hawaii. I will update you on that another time. It's still got a little bit of ways to go. And we do have 9E over here. Now this is tropical depression 9E, but it is going to be a tropical storm, strengthen up and then weaken back down to a tropical depression once again. No threat to anybody, but they are just flying through the names in the Pacific. Now we have 5 tropical waves that are moving through our Caribbean right now. A little bit going in the Pacific, some coming off the MDR, 3 of them coming off the MDR. So let me update you on their locations. So here's the whole outlook. You have the wave right above me moving Central America. You have the wave in Eastern Caribbean still bringing those threats to the Antilles. You have a wave here, and a wave coming off the coast of Africa. Now, we still have all this dust. We still have all this capping from the heat up above. So it is suppressing these storms. But Euro and GFS is both showing that this wave right here will still make that north-northwestern path, that northern tropical wave I told y'all about already. But they both are showing that it will meet up with some more energy as it goes through the Atlantic from another low pressure system forming a little bit. And it could transfer the energy, and after it weakens down from what it's going through, it could strengthen back up as it passes out of the MDR and gets into a little bit more favorable environment. Now the ensembles are showing that this could still make it towards Florida. This is the one that we really need to keep our eyes on. The other 2 waves in front are still expected to dissipate just like we've been showing in the previous videos. But this is the one right here that's going to be forming up later on. And right now it's at 40%, but they are showing that environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for gradual development of the system while it moves westward to the west-northwestward at 15 to 20 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. And a tropical depression could form around the middle part of the week. And this is the main tropical wave right here off the coast of Africa that we are watching. And you can see we do have the next wave coming. You can also see it is quite a few days away before it even comes off the coast of Africa. We always showed here, if you've never been here before, that it was going to be late August before we have something really to worry about. Maybe a named storm, but as far as hurricanes, major hurricanes, it's going to be late August and definitely September. And we still have that storm coming to the northeast. Now, according to the Euro, it will be offshore, not really a big threat to anybody, but it will strengthen up to a good bit of a storm. And you can still see that right here according to GFS. This is your potential velocity anomaly where you have lift or sinking air in your area. And lift is favorable, sinking air is unfavorable. Sinking air would be the dust or a cold front. And this is our storm that's going to be going out the east coast, out the northeast. This is not anything to do with that tropical wave. That's barely going to be a tropical depression. Very doubtful it even gets up to a tropical storm before it gets weakened down. And we do have that cold front still coming down from the 10th to the 12th to the 14th at this very latest, and it's still pushing and battling all these storms off into the Atlantic. It's even stopping the wave that we're following now, but it still might come back after the cold front. And we have a lot of sinking air all the way to the 19th and 20th of August. GFS is showing we have a potential somewhere around the 20th of August. And that's when we show that we have a neutral phase For the Gulf of Mexico, Central American gyre, around the 20th. The lift don't start coming in until the 25th and later. And you can see that you do have lift coming off all the MDR all the way until August 23rd, but you still have all this sinking air right in front of it. And the MDR is still going to have sinking air all the way through August. So nothing will strengthen off the MDR and come straight towards us until we get into very late August, very early of September. We still got the sinking air slowing everything down. We're still in this positive pattern for the Pacific North American pattern where we have cold fronts on the eastern side of the U.S. for quite some time. Now the Euro is showing what it's been showing, that we do have some lift in the area. This is not going to be from our tropical waves. And as our tropical waves come off the coast of Africa all the way to the beginning of September, it's going to be trying all the way to the beginning of September. But all this sinking air over the western side of our MDR is dust that is weakening these systems. And look at them when they come near us, somewhere around the 16th to the 20th, more in the late 20s. But we really don't start losing that sinking air until we get into September. Even then, it's showing that the potential velocity anomaly is some very weak anomalies passing through. Now this part I expect to change. It's still a little far away, and I'm showing a lot of signs that September is really when our season is going to ramp up. But you can see how weak these systems are that are coming according to the Euro. So this will still be maybe some named storms, but this is not scream hurricane or even major hurricane. It would look more like these colors as it's passing through our area. And you can see the update with your chances for a tropical depression according to the EPS, the long range for the Euro. That as we keep going, these waves are going to keep going northern. This storm is building up right off the east coast. I'll show you, as well as some energy going through the Central American gyre. It's going to run into this dust. It's going to get capped from all the heat. Has some dry air in there as well, and it's not really making it that far. It does try, according to the Euro, to still go in this direction, somewheres towards the southeast of the U.S. And you can also see for that storm in the northeast in the next 5 days, it starts building up right off the coast of the Carolinas. Probably going to be a front-induced system, but you can see how the strength builds up offshore, then it moves away. It's not really going to be that big of a deal. As that next wave comes its way towards the U.S., pretty much in the same area. So where this high pressure is parked over here, and everything is revolving around in this direction. Now, the real worrisome part is when you look at the SpaghettiOs from the Euro, and it is showing right around August 14th. Remember, this wave was showing somewhere from the 12th to the 15th, reaching the western MDR, the eastern Caribbean, before we need to even start to worry about this wave. But it's showing it's starting to strengthen up, and it has a good chance to strengthen as it crosses across the Bahamas, meets up with everything else, and just flows right into the southeast. And the worrisome part is this is showing a major hurricane, and this is the Euro. If you look at that pink right there, that is showing 950 millibars or less. So that is a very strong potential, and this is from the Euro, and that's the only reason why it's a little worrisome to me. So as we check the ensembles and see what the more than likely outcome will be, that way you don't go by all this model guidance, it can be very dramatic. As we start and go 5 days away, you can see it in all these ensembles that it does have this wave moving through, and I will show you the most likely outcome. Now, all these models do show something different. Like some show something off the East Coast. This one could go through the Caribbean and go to the Gulf of Mexico. But once again, the main one you want to watch is this one. This one is your controlled member. This is your more than likely outcome of what will happen. If you've never seen this before, when somebody shows you all these lines of these potential paths that these storms could take, this is a picture graph of what those lines and what that storm would look like passing through. And it's showing by August 11th that we do have a couple waves passing through, but it will consolidate into just one wave as it gets closer towards the high pressure. It weakens down. I will show you why. Then as it passes by the high pressure, it gets away from all the sinking air off the MDR. It does show there's a potential for it to strengthen right back up as it passes by the Bahamas and right around the southeast of the U.S. And you can see this in the closer view. So we are literally at August 18th, guys. So far this is the outcome, but I will update you because we all know this is too far away to be sure. They are showing in a few models that something could pop up in the Gulf at that time. But once again, here's your controlled member, and you can see it shows a very weak system. It really got hurt all the way over. Then it starts strengthening up as it passes by the Bahamas. Not too strong. You might get a storm out of that, though, as it weakens right back down and goes by the southeast. Now, we'll stay on top of this just so we know exactly what's going on with the track of these waves as it gets closer. You remember the one I showed you the other day that Florida is at 95% chance of seeing a named storm for the hurricane season. So they really have y'all in the tracks. But I will keep this updated daily. Now look at the difference between the model guidance of GFS and the Euro. This is your 500 millibar vorticity. And you can see our wave coming off, strengthening up, and this is the GFS. GFS shows it gets a little bit stronger, definitely by August 10th, right at the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season. It does have the two waves, and it starts meeting up as one good low energy, and it does show it getting a good bit of strength right there, guys, be honest with you. But it does meet up with this high pressure over Atlantic, and it steers it and tears it up. All the dust, all the warm air aloft, all the shear is dealing with weakens that system greatly down as you get a little system, something very weak, in the Atlantic. But as it travels towards Bahamas and Florida, you notice we get our cold front still. So that cold front is still coming down. It's going to smash this storm before it tries to group back up. But it is swinging in this direction because of the high pressure expanding out. So there's a good chance that we still won't see anything from this wave. And you can see almost the same thing with the Euro. You do have two waves together that are kind of meeting up and becoming one piece of energy. It does start to strengthen up as it goes a little northern, but once again, it is going right past the high pressure. Now, instead of going below this high pressure and swinging it around to the southeast, it shows it has a good chance to meet up with this other low pressure building in there, very weak, but it gives it energy to where it could strengthen right back up in the Atlantic Ocean. So we still need to keep our eye on this. It's still way too far to be sure, but the trend has been for the past week or so that it will swing around this high pressure. No worries to anybody. And you can see with the precipitation that it really gathers really good into formation. You can see it right there. It really forms up really nice. But as we get our cold front that comes down right around the 10th through the 12th, smashing that first piece of wave that we've been talking about, this next one heads a little more northern. It gets very weak from the shear, from the dust, and just gets obliterated. They don't really do anything. And as it's curving a little northern right there, it's still a little too far to be sure. But so far, it is still staying with the trend that it is swinging around the high pressure into the Atlantic. And you can see it right here on the 16th, just headed away from the U.S. And that's because you still have all this dust. So you still have this dust that is capping this first wave with all this heat. And then as this next wave comes off, you have this big plume of dust that's right over that one as well. As it starts to build up, head towards the western of the MDR, big pocket of dust, a lot of warm temperatures up above, just weakening the storm, not letting it grow, meeting a lot of shear as well. And you can see that next plume coming off the coast of Africa with that next wave. So just like I said in the last video, this is going to be our steady pattern all through August. It's going to keep the MDR capped with all this dust, all this heat, and nothing will strengthen after it gets off the MDR. If anything forms, it'll be front induced and it will be close. Because when you look at the temperatures at the 850 millibar level, you can see your first wave right here, big pocket of dust right above it. Very much warm temperatures aloft, capping these storms. That wave is nothing to worry about. Then we have our next wave building, all this warm temperatures above from that dust, staying with that wave as well as we get that cold front coming through from the 10th through the 12th. Now this cold front will bring 50-degree temperatures to y'all early morning. We'll warm back up to the 70s, but that cold front has been showing for so long. But this storm is staying capped the whole time with all this heat until it gets obliterated into the Atlantic. And that next wave, a lot of heat up above again in the dust, capping that storm as well. So when you look for the surface pressures according to the Euro, by the time you get to the 10th, you can see our wave starts moving across the MDR. It starts picking up in some strength as that other system starts moving through the Atlantic. But after you get this cold front and you get that front-induced low over here in the northeast, it moves west, and then it meets up a little bit with that other storm in the Atlantic, and it gives it energy once again at the last minute. At the same time, this is pulling this to the north, and that's why it stops that westward push. It all has to go around that high pressure. GFS shows it getting a little bit stronger, maybe getting up to maybe a weak tropical storm, but weakens right back down immediately as it runs into the shear, getting capped, can't strengthen, and it shows it further away from the system, and it don't pull it to the north, and it keeps tracking somewheres towards the southeast, but it still goes around the high pressure and swings away. And the update on the 6Z, the latest run on GFS, you can still see it shows the same path. Could still strengthen up to maybe a weekend tropical storm. Still getting obliterated. Shows it a little bit closer to that system, but it don't show any more formation after that. So just like I showed you the other day, we still have nothing to worry about. August is still a bust. Now, the only difference is when you look at the precipitable water with the GFS, you can see that storm building really good, really strong in the MDR. Then it starts taking that west-northwest push as we get that cold front. So the shear, the dry air, all the heat above weakens this system, but it tries to form back up. Maybe a front-induced, but you can see right there in the precipitation that get upper level low, that it tries to form something back up before it gets hit with that cold front. And that is literally 9 days away. So for this to stay this accurate, even though it is trending with the Euro and the GFS, I still want to be a little closer to be sure. Still looks like nothing to worry about. We will stay on top of it though. As well as that next wave after that, sometime around the 15th and 16th, coming off the coast of Africa, making that northward push as well. And you can see how quick it loses its precipitation because it has all that dust. Matter of fact, when you look at your Arctic oscillation and see about these cold fronts, you can see how wishy-washy GFS has been lately. The previous runs did show that deep all the way to the 15th and 16th cold front that is starting around the 10th or the 12th. It's going to be a couple wishes of cold nights coming, which will cool y'all down. Lately, it has retracted back. But when you go by the long range of the Euro, get myself out of the shot for you, you can see it is coming down the 10th through the 12th, all the way to maybe the 20th, that this cold front is still coming. You can also see here from Climate Prediction Center, they are seeing this as well. Just as all previous runs, that your average is more than likely you still are getting that cold front coming through our US. And when you look at the shear, you can see as this wave starts making its way across the MDR, it does have a little room to strengthen, but then it starts meeting up with the shear. The shear weakens it down greatly. You get a nasty little trough right here, and that just throws a lot of winds against this system, kills it. You don't even have an upper level low, a surface low at this point. It just roams to the west as a regular tropical wave and just kills that system. And showing like the Euro, forming off the coast of the Northeast, getting a lot of shear as well. But I'm still showing we're going to have sinking air with the Euro all the way until we get to the 20th. Then we're going to have neutral phase for the Central American gyre, Gulf of Mexico, a chance to get something close to home. But the lift isn't going to start coming in until the 25th of August through Central American gyre, a little bit of the Gulf of Mexico. Once you get to the 30th of August, that's when this lift is going to start moving through our Caribbean and going through our MDR for September. So definitely from the 20th to 25th is when it's going to start switching around. Until then, these waves really don't have a chance, guys. Now let's get to the raffle for this generator. I'm so excited for one of y'all to win this thing. This is really going to be a nice package. But like I said, y'all really outdid yourself. 1,838 comments on this video. That tells me I'm going in the right direction. Y'all want generators. I'm still going to bust my butt hard enough with this company and try and keep this going every single month. Matter of fact, I've been thinking, even though I don't like to put ads in my content, I think it does ruin the content. The funds have been low. If you've never been here before, I feed hungry people every month, and the funds have been real low for this whole month. A lot of people going through their own issues, very understandable. So I've been thinking about maybe throwing in a video from time to time just to add money just to add funds for the Feeding People project. So tell me what y'all think. I think I really need to do that. That is my main goal, is to help feed people regardless of what's going on in the video. But all that, 100% of the proceeds will go towards feeding people, and that's where it's going to stay. So I have been thinking about doing that just so that money could build up towards feeding people every single month without causing any issues for anybody in the community, because everybody's suffering as well. But let's get to the winner of this generator and these panels, because a lot of people that want this one. So here we go. We put in the word bust on our video. Let's see how many comments have accrued from this video. How many times somebody put the word bust in the video. Over 1,250 bust words was in this video. So that tells me right there, y'all definitely want this. So let's pick this winner. Now let's get myself out the shot for this. And here we go. Ron S. Congratulations, Ron. You are the winner of this generator and these 2 solar panels. Everybody give congrats to Ron. Everybody wants one. Not everybody can get one, but I am working on that every single month. Congratulations, Ron. Please contact me through this email. This is my email that I do for my channel, so we can trade your address so I can get this shipped to you. Congratulations to you, brother. And that is the latest update, guys. That is still going to run into the dust. It's still going to run into this very warm temperatures, a lot of shear, and nothing really to worry about. And as it gets closer, it looks like these cold fronts are still going to keep it at bay. So take all these forecasts you might see out there. I'm sure a lot of people are going to really push this issue. I'm still showing there's nothing to worry about. So please take it with a grain of salt on these waves. Please share this information. Let people know what's going on with the truth on these waves, and not that we have a major hurricane coming. A little worrisome from what Euro shows. I will keep you updated, but until then, I'm showing we can still relax. Romans 12. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Christ, and every one members one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, and he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, and honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer, distributing to the necessity of saints, giving to hospitality. Bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Amen. Congratulations, Ron. God bless all of you. Hope you have a very blessed Sunday today. Thank you so much for visiting my channel today. And all glory, all honor does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father. And love one another. Think how you would be in that situation and act as so. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great day, everybody.